Hi there. Today we're going to be making some tallow conditioner bars. Conditioner bars are great and they work just like a conditioner out of a bottle, and you don't have the waste like you do with the bottles, which is really nice. You can customize them to your liking and add in some things that are awesome for your hair according to your hair type. Let's look at some of the ingredients. The main ingredient we will be using is BTMS 50 in this formula. BTMS 50 is a cationic emulsifier that can emulsify oils and fatty acids and wash them away while still leaving your hair strands feeling softer and lightly coated like a conditioner should. BTMS 50 is made up of bihentrimonium methyl sulfate and cetyl alcohol. Bihentrimonium methyl sulfate is a quaterning ammonium compound that is made from plant oils that provide conditioning and hydration for hair and skin. We are also adding in cetyl alcohol, which will provide extra conditioning and thickening to ensure this bar stays hard. We're also going to add tallow to this conditioner bar. If you don't have it, you can use another hard butter like shea or mango butter. The oils and butters actually make up a very small percentage of the whole formula because we need it to be able to wash away easily. And I found with conditioner bars, if you use too high of a percentage of oils or butters, it will very quickly leave your hair feeling heavy and weighed down. We're also going to add dimethicone and silk protein to our conditioner bars, which are amazing for hair as they can coat the hair strand and leave it feeling stronger and less frizzy. Now, the silk protein I use is actually made for Haircare. It's a blend, so it's a blend of hydrolyzed silk, protein, and it's got peptides, panthenol, vitamin B, dimethicone, cyclomethicone, and phenyltrimethicone. So it's a blend of a bunch of silicones, and it's made for hair, and we can use it for all kinds of things in our formulas, and even in our skincare. I probably could have just used this alone without adding in the extra dimethicone or panthenol, but I added more anyway. It's amazing. So I will also link that down in the description of where I bought that, because you actually can't get this on any of the cosmetic suppliers. You have to buy it from the company itself, and it's just an awesome product. We're also going to be using honeyquat, and if you don't know what that is, it's a polyquaternium conditioning agent. So it's stronger than glycerin as far as humectant properties, so it helps the hair retain more moisture. For our preservative, I'm going to be using Pheno-Nip. Now, you definitely want to use a preservative in this because it's going to come in contact with water. And I've seen many conditioner bars on the market with no preservative, and they do need one. Even though it's a water-free product, it's going to be around water, in water. It's just a good idea to use one. You can also use Dermal Plus too. You want a preservative that's going to be compatible with oils and oil soluble, because this has no water in it. This is actually a pretty easy formula, so let's take a look. We basically have two phases, A and B. A is the heating phase and B is the cool down phase, but fair warning, there isn't going to be a cool down phase. Conditioner bar formulas are tricky because they require being heated to at least 150 degrees to be fully melted, so we have to add our phase B ingredients when it's still very hot, as it will start to solidify immediately. It's basically like working with beeswax. In phase A, we're doing tallow, BTMS 50, cetyl alcohol, and an oil of your choice. I chose avocado oil, which is a pretty heavy oil, but my hair needs some extra conditioning right now. But I would recommend a lighter oil like almond or sunflower oil is really nice. For our phase B, we're adding in all the extra goodies like honeyquat, panthenol, dimethicone, our silk protein blend, our preservative, and our fragrance. I think 1.5% of fragrance is perfect, but you can do 2% if you want a stronger scent. Also, if you don't have any of the ingredients in phase B, like honeyquat or dimethicone, then you can totally skip them and just add your preservative and your fragrance oil. They aren't absolutely necessary, but they do make the bar feel so much nicer on your hair. They add a lot more silkiness and humectant properties, so just keep that in mind. For supplies, you'll just need heat-safe containers, scales that measure in 0.1 gram increments, and a spatula or stirrer, and molds to pour these in. And I will link the molds that I am using in the description. For this batch, I did a 10-ounce batch, and the molds First, we're going to sanitize everything. I use 90% isopropyl alcohol and I spray everything down and wipe it down before I use it. Okay, let's get started and let's start making this. First, we're going to weigh out our BTMS 50, which is 186.9 grams. Then we're going to weigh out our cetyl alcohol, which is 28.4 grams. And I'm actually going to pour this into a bigger beaker so it will melt faster. Next, I'm adding in my tallow, which is really hard to get out of the jar. I just took it out of the fridge 10 minutes ago, so it's still really solid. Oof. And then we're going to weigh out our avocado oil at 14.2 grams. And then we're going to set that aside and move on to our phase B ingredients. So our silk protein, dimethicone, honeyquat, panthenol, phenonip, and our fragrance oil. And the fragrance oil I'm using is called Angel's Delight, and it's really good. It's a blend of tangerine, blackcurrant, fruity jelly beans, but it really just smells like cherry almond to me. It's more sweet with a slight hint of fruity, and I really like it. Now we're going to put this on the heat and make sure your water level is up high enough to almost cover your ingredients. This is going to take a while to fully heat up and start becoming more liquidy. And I actually decided to add some pink mica to this. I like to color my conditioner bars just to make them look a little pretty, but you don't have to. So you can stir this as it's melting to try and help speed it up, and you'll see it starting to solidify really quickly on the sides. And I have to say, conditioner bars are kind of a pain in the butt to make for mainly this reason. They start to solidify really quickly even while they're still on the heat. So do your best and scrape the sides if you stir it, and just try to keep, pushing everything back down so it melts. Now, once everything is liquid, we're going to take our phase B ingredients, and I actually will add it while it's still on the heat to ensure everything stays melted. I know not everybody does this, but this is the only way I found that it works to not start solidifying right when I pour it in, because it'll start to get clumpy all around where you pour in the phase B. So I'm going to pour it in while it's still on the heat and then stir it really well, and then I'm going to immediately carefully pour those into the mold. Now you want to actually put these in the freezer right away so they will solidify really quickly, which I totally didn't do for whatever reason. I just forgot to put these in the freezer. But if you don't put them in the freezer, then this will happen. So see how the top is all kind of lumpy? And what happened is, as it's cooling, the top layer likely cooled first, which was mostly probably BTMS and cetyl alcohol, and then the bottom cooled last. I'll show you the difference when you freeze them. It's actually fine and it doesn't affect the bar. It's just not as aesthetically pleasing. So if you look at this one, it's from a batch that I made and I stuck it in the freezer right away, and you can see how it's smooth all over. Now you want to let these sit overnight and fully harden up before you use them. After about 24 hours, they're ready to go. I love these bars. They leave my hair feeling soft, smooth, and healthy. They also don't leave a ton of residue on the hair. So see how easy that was? I hope you enjoyed making this formula, and always have fun with it, or as always have fun with it, and customize it to your liking. And remember, you don't absolutely have to use the extras that I used in phase B, but I think they make a huge difference in the performance of the bars. As always, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow this channel, but also check out my Patreon, where there's loads of formulating information on ingredients, formulas I don't share on here, and the business side of having a small skincare business. Please enter your thoughts and comments below, and any formulas or information you would like to see me cover on this channel. Toodaloo for now.